Hello and welcome to yet another tutorial on how to develop a servo-based robotic arm which is capable of sorting color specifically, that is red, yellow, green and blue. Isn't that interesting? So let's get started. Here you can see the working of this project, that is how the arm is picking up buttons of different colors and dropping them in different specific holes. This is the mechanical structure of the project, and as you can see and observe that this is totally made out of acrylic sheet, and as the name suggests, the color sorting. For sorting purposes we are using here four metal buttons, and these are red, green, blue and yellow. The very next thing that you can see is these four holes on the top of the surface. These holes are for our color dropping purposes. First for red, then green, blue and followed by yellow. This is extended arm for holding the button in a particular way. And the last and important thing is the mechanical arm, which is made out of aluminium with movement which is given to it using the servo motor. You can see we have used 5 servo motors for a particular movement. One is for base, 2 for the shoulder, 1 for angle and 1 for gripper. And these parts are made out of aluminium. This is all about the structure. So let's come to the electronics part. Electronics is fairly simple. What we are using here is only a color sensor for detecting purposes, which is fitted here inside the box on the arm. And for controlling purposes, we are using Arduino and a shield to give our different power supply for servo motors. So this is the wiring diagram of our project. As you can see, for the servo motor, one color detection sensor, also one 5-volt battery giving supply to the servo motor, and one Arduino for controlling purpose. Here you can see that we have used 4 servo motors. In the description I had said that we are using 5 servo motors because we were basically trying to use 2 servo motors for the shoulder joint. And because these motors are working exactly the same, we are using 2 servo motors as we require a high torque. As same signals are given to both of these motors, therefore we have shown only 4 motors here, and you can also see that these servo motors are connected to pin number 6, 9, 10 and 13. And also in this I can show you from the code that the gripper is connected to pin number 6 and elbow is connected to pin number 9, shoulder connected to pin number 10, and this is the base which is connected to pin number 13. As you can see here, we've used a color detection sensor of which S0, S1, S2 and S3 are connected to 5, 4, 3 and 2. So we've been given different power supplies to the servo as it is needed for their high current supply, that is 5 volt 10 ampere from SMPS for servo and the 12 volt differently for the Arduino. We'll again now get back and move forward to the coding section, which is one of the most crucial and final parts of our projects that we've been discussing. So as I scroll through the code, you can see that here we have initially included the servo library, and also we have then used servo objects like the base, shoulder, the elbow, and again in this we've used value named array which have 37 values. These are all the angles which we need at every position from picking to dropping. Calculated all these values in more than 100 iterations, so you will have to calculate these values on your own as per your project and as per your servo motors. All these that you can see further are the variables that we've used throughout the code. I shall not be explaining to you the code line wise. Instead, the code is attached in the description box below and you can refer and understand the code from there. Okay, so now to begin with the void setup, here in the serial section we've been mentioning that where the gripper, elbow, shoulder and base etc. are attached. As you see further, you'll be able to see all these values that are setting up the initial angles, that is the values or the angles that are required for positioning of the arm. We have further the pin modes, that is 5, 4, 3, 2, 11, which are connected to the color sensor. And also there is a PDF attached in the description box below, and you can refer to that PDF for finding out the data about the type of color sensor that we've used, and all the details about the working of this color sensor. Then here you can see pin mode A1, A2, A3, A5. All these are for the LEDs debugging purpose only, and you can directly ignore these set of codes straight away. Then comes the most important part, which is the last thing, which is the color sense function in the white setup. So this is basically where the values are calibrated from the ADC of all the other sensors. We have got the values making an if else loop for colors. If the buffer values we set for yellow, red, blue, green is 55, 15, minus 35 and 5, as you can see in the code as well. So according to the code as well, or according to the buffer values, we can write angles in the void loop, and then we are picking up these values from the value array and we are writing them to the servo motors. We are offsetting all the buffer values, and also we are trying to mix and match and combine and logically relate basically all these values. So finally in the last we are calling color sensor function with the process which iterates again and again. And this is all about the color sorting mechanism. And finally in the last I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and all the software part, the codes, the design and the video description along with the PDF about the sensor attached is given in the description box below. Thank you for watching.